Hey, this is James from All Hail Internal Combustion. Late night in the garage, helping my buddy Mark out with this 2000 GMC Sierra. We had a ignition wire on the coil packs, was messed up. We had to fix that. But mostly we're doing a brake line setup here. He's got all new stainless steel lines, and pretty much all the lines are rusted, rotten out. If you know anything about these GMCs, they're phenomenally known for all the brake lines rotting out of them. So make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll get a walk around on this. Let me flip my camera around. Okay, so we got it jacked up pretty good. Sitting on 4 jack stands. We got plenty of room to get underneath of it. Basically what we got to do, we took all the tires off. We started on this side, unhooked this line, followed the line, found the ABS module just under the driver's side tire over here, or driver's side door. And under here, show you what's going on. Okay. Well, there's the ABS module right here. It's where all the lines run into. There's 5 there. 1 runs back to the rear differential and the splitter. 2 run to the up front tires, left and right. And 2 of them run to the master cylinder. 1 for front, 1 for back. So these aren't too rusty here. They came out pretty easy. If they look rusty, you should probably spray them with PB Blaster before you get started. So we got leaking lines, I believe, on this side maybe. That's the splitter right there. So that line up there actually looks like it might actually be leaking. Yeah, look at that. So that's where the leak originated from. Right there, as you can see. The rubber line looks pretty beat. He said about going out and getting a new one, so that's a typical splitter. And we'll get the 2 that go to the outside calipers done as well. So let me show you the kit he got. It's pretty nice. Sorry for the camera angles here. Pops went to bed. We're late night in the garage. So it's a pretty nice kit. Do you know who made this kit?
I believe this is OEM from GM.
So this is stainless steel replacement lines. Obviously the originals weren't stainless steel replacement lines, but they're pretty clearly labeled where they go. It's got a paper that tells us where everything goes. Rear axle or passenger side. That's pretty easy there. And we got a little paper going on here. We have our coffee and water. Wood stove going. We're staying warm out here. So as we get some work done, I'll update you and tell you what's going on and how we're making out. So I'm sure the bleeding process is going to be kind of long and drawn out on this because of the ABS module, but we'll get it done. So something I forgot to mention is before you take any of these fasteners or these out, make sure you make a diagram of where as you pull them out. So I have them loose, and I made this diagram. See top, bottom, driver's side, passenger side when you're looking at it. And all the way on the right here, I took this one out. That's the front right side brake line. So that line will come out, and as I do the next one, I'll mark it as I do the next one and the next one and the next one, so that I have a diagram of where they go. So see, front right. So then I'll go, the next one I pull, I'll mark it. The next one, I'll show you the diagram once I get a couple of them dialed in. So just make sure you're marking that to make your job a little bit easier. It might be a little self-explanatory with pre-bent lines, but then again, maybe it won't be. So just prepare. It's smart to do that. Okay, so we got all our lines out. We also got everything mapped out and marked, including the 2 lines going into the master cylinder here. We are going to start from the back and work our way up. I'll explain that in a minute, but we're taking this master cylinder off. It's got roll pins in it, and There's one back here. Let me turn my... There's one right here. One right there. I just used a little tiny Phillips head screwdriver. A hammer. Popped them through. So Mark's going to pop that off. It's really, really dirty. So we're hoping that we can just take this guy off of here and clean it real good. And there's probably O-rings in there. We'll see. If he needs replacements, we can get them. They look like they're in good shape, but we're going to take this reservoir and put some gasoline in it and soak it for a while because it's really nasty. It's nasty in there. So, yeah. So we're going to start brake lines in the back. The 2 differential ones to the splitter is what we did first. Then we're going to feed our line from the back up to the front. There's lots of clips, but I didn't have to drop the tank or anything like that to get them out. So we'll see if that's necessary to get them in. Now these kits, they are bent, and I had to unbend them between these stickers. If you just read the instructions, it'll tell you what to do. These were actually pretty easy to bend. It wasn't too bad. So yeah, we'll get back with you once we soak the reservoir and get some lines put in. As you see, we got line 1 done. Ran over to the splitter on the other side of the diff, and the same with the other line. Right now, we're about to feed the back running line into place. This ought to be fun. So here's our ABS module. This is obviously the back line, and 2 of these go to the front. They route through this way. They go up to the master cylinder. One's for the back, one's for the front. And then 2 of these right here are for the front left, front right. Oh, when you buy these kits, you'll have to get all this stuff in here. But now bleeding out the ABS module was slightly difficult. You can't gravity feed these. You have to have your key on, battery on, so that electronically it'll open the passages up in the ABS module while you're pumping the brakes. So we were able to pump all the brakes out. The ABS module took a lot of fluid before we were able to actually get some fluid out by the back of the wheel cylinders, or rear calipers rather. So we got it bled out. The brakes feel nice and tight. So he's got his Prindle back. Nice new U-joints. They were trashed. He did those on his own. But yeah. So this truck's ready to hit the road. Needs some new tires, and it's ready to be driven. So working on this Chevy Silverado, we did the ABS and brake lines on. Chasing down our electrical gremlin. The lights on the dash don't work.
The lights work. The gauges don't work.
The gauges don't work on the dash. So the illumination lights work. So we're trying to track that down now. There was a transmission swap done on this truck with someone else. So we're going to check some of the connections underneath and see if we can't figure it out. And I'm going to give you guys an update since we finished the ABS and bled it out. I'm going to give you an update on how we bled that out, made everything happy. So, okay, so we figured out the issue of the gauges not working and the Prindle, which is the gear selector light.
Don't call it that.
We didn't even know. Our buddy Mark here is the one that educated us on the Prindle. We didn't know that's what it was called.
It's because people don't call it that. Mark made it up. I've never heard that before in my damn life.
Park, reverse, neutral, drive.
Oh, I get it now. So we checked the fuses because that was the easiest. We checked the fuses inside. And if you don't have one of these, you should get one, a power probe. So I hooked my power probe in, negative, positive. And I noticed that when you plugged in the OBD tester here, that it was shorting out. It was coming on and off. So I said, well, what the heck? What's going on here? we figured out that maybe it was a bad ground because one of these grounds was still open. And when I grounded it out with the power probe, so I supplied ground to the wire that where the power probe was saying it was open, the gauge lights came back on. So like I had said, the transmission had been replaced at some point, and the ground wires from the main harness of the transmission actually got ripped off. So we put some new ones on and soldered them to this terminal and soldered them back here, as that was pretty tight to get a soldering gun, but it's ground, so we slid some heat shrink tubing over top of it, and we were good to go. We got all our lights back. I'll show you here. I'll turn the key on and show you. So before, none of these gauges were working, nothing. So we have our battery light back on, all our cluster lights, our, when I start the truck, everything comes back to life. I'm good to start this?
Yes.
So there's our tachometer, our Prindle 321. Oil pressure's good, so we're doing all right here. Now I'm gonna get underneath, and I'm going to put all the wiring harness back together on the transmission, and I'll show you the final install on the ABS module. There's the lines ran there. So we're going to get underneath, and I'll kind of show you where those lines were going to so we can finish that part of the video up as well. So this is James from All Hail Internal Combustion. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hope this can help you out with rerouting your ABS lines or redoing lines. These trucks are particularly bad with this, rotting out lines. So until next time, we'll see you again. Cooler projects to come.
GMC, got my checkbook. Later all.